Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel the noise.
Welcome to the MidWeek ReCap. I am Chanda-Masta, and this is the Trailer Park Pundit. Well, I am the Trailer Park Pundit. How is everybody? We're getting a late start on this Wednesday, as Burma says. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. But it's not morning. Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late this morning. I had to take my mother-in-law to the doctor, to her pain specialist, which is always fun because I'm personal friends with him. Like, we sit there and talk. He spends more time talking to me than he does her every visit because he knows I'm deeply involved in politics, and sometimes he just blows my mind. So I had to ask him about the mandates. I had to. Do we have new mandates come in? And he threw his head back and he laughed and said, yeah, they're never going to be able to pull that one over people ever again. And I said, well, I hope not. And what other crazy predictions? Oh, he sat there and told me how Western medicine is for profit. And I was like, yeah, do tell. I go, it's got to be discouraging to go to school for so many years just to find out that you're just a glorified pill pusher. And he was like, yeah, pretty much. So, yeah. And he gave me a couple of tips about medicines that are being heavily pushed that there's really no background, there's a lot of cholesterol meds they're pushing on everybody. There's a lot of diabetic meds they're pushing on everybody that aren't really fucking helping. But hey, insurance is covering them and everybody's making money. So what does it matter if you take them, right? Good morning, chat. How is everybody? Let's see. Willie Braggs is in the chat. Good morning. Trailer Park Pundit, libertarian righties and libertarian lefties will unite this time. I hope so. I hang out with a lot of libertarians, and a lot of the Bernie people I hung out with in 2016 became libertarians. I get it. I get it. Fuck off government. I get it. Dr. Nick Rivera's in the house. Good morning. Catalytic Centaur. Good to see you. Popeye's hanging out. Kate, you made it to the late showing. Sorry I'm late, guys, but I wanted to make sure we got a show out, and it's a big show. There's a lot to talk about. Who else is? Uncle Warren's in the house. Make sure you're checking out Extra Bolus channel and watching the Secret Show on Saturdays. That's always fun. DJ Hyona dropping the beats. Thank you so much for joining us. I love the mix you dropped yesterday. The podcast one. Oh, so great. I just turn it on and clean the house. Aspen Fallen's here. So it's Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Manitalk. Hey, Jimmy. I watched your podcast yesterday, it was good. It was good. Salty Digital Dive. Hello, Salty. Don't be too salty. The world's salty enough. Corky's here. Hey, Corky. Crone of Anarchy. Natalie Williams has made it into Pittsburgh Dude 87. Good to see you. Aw, thank you so much. Okay, let's get this day started. We've got lots to talk about, but I am on YouTube this morning, so fair use. I am merely commentating, giving you my opinion, and speculating on everything I'm telling you. And so please, if you're interested in something I talk about, go do your research. I promise you the truth is out there. They just don't think you'll look for it. Because I don't ever have a hard time finding the truth when I need to. I really don't. You dig a little deep, you just pick that scab off and boom, there it is. It's that simple. Cold Fusion Gaming's in the house. Good to see you. Okay. Do you guys know what? It's somebody special's birthday. I told you we had a lot of August birthdays. Today is the Boomer's birthday. Happy birthday to the Boomer, my partner in crime. I don't know what I would do without Oz. Let me tell you. I was not in this space until I met Oz. I was in politics, but I would join a couple of podcasts here or there, talk to people, but it's really been Oz and your guys' encouragement that has got me in this chair doing these shows every week, every day, every other day. So happy birthday, Oz, and thank you so much for being so wonderful and being funny and witful and insightful and just the best friend anybody can have. Let me tell you, he truly is. If I need a shoulder to cry on, I've got it. If I need somebody to have my back, he's there with a knife. And that's the type of friends you got to have. So happy birthday, Oz. I hope you guys give him love when you see him out there. I tried to talk him on coming by. I was like, hey, I know the peeps would like to give you some birthday love, but I understand you should have the day off on your birthday. So I hope you're having a relaxing birthday, Boomer. And join us on Saturday for Beauty and the Boomer. We're already working on that show, and we're going to make it funnier, Kate. We got the message last week. I sent me a message Monday morning and said, let's save everything funny for Saturday. So we got some funny stuff, I promise. It's so hard, though. The world is burning around us, fucking literally. So it's hard to be funny and, satire and joke about stuff. It's just so hard. It's so hard. You guys have been so wonderful at helping me get so close to getting my car fixed. I am very close. I'm saving up those pennies. If you want to help me out, all of the links are in the description box below. Whatever way works best for you, I probably have. I got them all. Cash App, whatnot. Oz says, Shanda, you're my soul partner. You are my soul partner, Oz. I hope you're having a really, really good birthday. I hope Joey's spoiling you rotten, and you get to just relax today. That's really what I want for you. No stress. Stress-free day for your birthday. Isn't that the best? Just to have a stress-free birthday. Oh, but we got a lot of stressful things to talk about today, so we're just going to get into it. So when you get to an island and you realize there's no children. So yes, Biden finally made his way to the Hawaiian Islands to take a look at the Maui fire. And there's just so much to unpack and talk about this visit. As normal, it was disgusting. It was horrific to watch. Any person in their right mind is like, what the fuck is he talking about? But let's start out with the 50-mile long motorcade that he brought with him. What is this? Check this out. Video I saw, they were screaming at him, F you. Flipping him off. Why does he need this many vehicles in Hawaii? Aren't we supposed to be doing something about climate change? Well, maybe if he got a few less fucking SUVs to escort him around. What is that? Oh my gosh. The emperor in his court. This is disgusting. Look at it, just keeps going. I can't even. But you driving to work is killing the planet. What? I have so many questions. For one, where the hell did they get all those black SUVs? Isn't this an island that's pretty limited on the resources they have, let alone the fact that it burnt to the ground? And they managed to pull out 20 tinted window SUVs to fucking escort him in. Way to combat climate change. Let's see, what is Einstein saying? It just seems a bit odd. The fire would start in the area developers wanted to buy. And just putting this out there, arson is not climate change. Ooh, yeah, that's true. So whether you believe it started with space lasers, or that it was arson, or that it was a down power line, it doesn't matter. They're lying to us about the numbers. They're lying to us about what's going on there. Did you guys see Oprah just dropped a video like, I don't know, an hour ago or something? It's so gross. It's so gross. Look at me. I'm the hero. I'm trying to get them solar generators. And I personally called Hanes, the underwear company, up, and they're going to send me over 1 million pairs of panties. I don't think we need 1 million pairs of panties, but they're still giving them to me. That's Oprah today. Look at me. I do good. Yeah. Is that her guilt knowing what she did? I don't know. So let's see. Biden finally, once he did show up. Oh, I got another one of him showing up. I think this one he's getting told off. After 13 days.
He's finally here. Wow, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for nothing. Fuck you.
Tell us how you really feel. And yeah, of course,
We are a
he took a nap
community
once he
that
got there.
relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship. But like many others,
So you guys know I'm one of those ex fact checkers, right? I get to go in and tell you guys or tell X if the notes, the community notes that people are putting on things are bullshit or not. And 3 times I had to go in and correct this shit because they kept saying Biden he wasn't asleep. He wasn't asleep. At the 11-minute mark, he moved his finger. Like, okay, because he twitched his finger 11 minutes in, he wasn't really sleeping? Is that what you guys are trying to tell me as a fact check on Twitter? Come on, guys. Come on now. The dude was clearly asleep for like 13 minutes. 13 fucking minutes. But not before he insulted the shit out of them with his rendition and comparison of a little tiny kitchen fire in his house with the horrors that happened in Maui. It is so out of touch, so unrelatable, so over the top. I couldn't stomach. I couldn't imagine being in that audience knowing that your family members horrifically were incinerated in this fire, and to have this asshole sitting here comparing losing his Corvette. I almost lost my Corvette. These people lost their children. It's not comparable. I mean, check this out. I know most of you have probably seen it.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat.
That is so gross. That is so out of touch. He takes 13 days to get there to console the families. And once he does get there, he tries to make himself relatable by comparing when his private pawn got struck by lightning and they put it out. So for 5 minutes, he thought maybe his Corvette was going to be in danger. This is so out of touch. It's so insulting to the families that lost everything. Don't tell me this guy's reelectable, because he is not reelectable. You just saw the welcome he got. Americans should be pissed. Hawaiians should be just foaming at the mouth, and they are. They fucking are. Check this clip out from, I don't know who this is, and I researched it too. Nobody knew who this was, but he nails it right on the head.
It is almost impossible to believe that this guy, that this old man, this Walmart greeter, this fake installed president, why the fuck is his wife with him wherever he goes? We didn't hire this person. I didn't hire you, Joe. You're a traitor. I know what you are. I know what Kamala is. I know what the Democratic Party is. And I know that we have a constitutional crisis of epic proportion. But hearing you talk about your house that, had a little fire, you almost lost your cat and your Corvette. There are children that were incinerated to ash. You fucking old man.
Yeah.
You vile human being. The only way you feel you're able to communicate and you have some kind of, you're so out of touch with the common man, you don't even understand how to speak to them.
Yep.
The only way you think you can establish commonality with them is to lie. That the same thing happened to you, no matter what the tragedy is. Your son wasn't killed in action, by the way. Your house didn't burn down. Your children weren't burned to death. How dare you get up there and speak this way? Your job is to go there and assuage them in a way that you talk to them about their loss, that you can't imagine what it's like, that you can't imagine what it's like never to find the bodies of the poor children that were sent home from schools that died alone, in fear, without their parent or a guardian, that the most abhorrent thing happened. You're a disgusting, despicable bastard. You're too old. You need to step down from office. Maybe the cackling hyena behind you, maybe she'll rise to the occasion.
No.
She can't even form a coherent sentence.
Nope.
This is an outrage. An outrage. We should just rebuild the goddamn thing the way it was. When you hear the psychopath, the first thing out of the governor's mouth was, we're going to reclaim the land for this or for that. Who the fuck are the people we hire in government? And if there's any truth to the matter that this idiot held back the water, he should be sent down to Guantanamo Bay. Never to be seen again. It's just outrageous how we behave in this country. There's no adults. An event, no matter how tragic, there should be men that are able to rise to the occasion. In 5 seconds, you should know what to do. You should understand the right thing.
Yep.
You almost lost your cat. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. I agree. Fact checkers are like, he didn't say that. And if he did, he didn't mean it. And if he did, you don't understand it. And if you did, it's not a big deal. And if it is, it's taken out of context. And if it wasn't, others have done it. And if they have it, at least that means Orange Man is gone. Yeah. And that is the response we get for everything. For everything. That's exactly how they do it, right? Oh, he didn't mean to say that. Well, he did mean to say it, but you took it wrong. You didn't understand it. It's not a big deal, right? I mean, the excuses that Blue Mega makes is disgusting. This whole situation is just beyond heartbreaking. And they continue to lie to us about the goddamn numbers. Now, we'll talk about dew and energy, and we'll talk about that because I got some theories. I'm thinking that what do they do? Who is they? The powers that be, the CIA, the infiltrators, the people that are always starting that shit. They want all of us conspiracy theorists out here telling you that it was directed energy weapons, so that way, it looks even further away from the truth because it's just a conspiracy, right? So everyday people are starting to make their way there and putting their cameras in front of people's faces and asking questions about these numbers that we're getting, right? Where are we at? We're at I think I heard 108 confirmed. It might be 111, 115 right now. And still over 800 unaccounted for. We have heard 1,400 unaccounted for. And they're saying that they only have 480 bodies so far that they've collected, but they've only confirmed 115. We are 2 weeks into this, 2 weeks, and you can't confirm the numbers. You can't tell us what's really going on. Well, there's a lot of reasons why, and we're going to get into that. So let's check out this first one. I want to say this is
Piston was wrapping up a media briefing in Lahaina today when a man confronted him about the information being publicly released.
We have no idea if any of them are children. We have no idea.
That's independent journalist Nick Sorter. His social media says he flew in from Louisville 2 days ago. Police asked Sorter to calm down and even physically held him back. He persisted, but it eventually ended peacefully.
Sir, we don't know who you are. You're not identifying yourself as media.
Are you law enforcement? Yeah. We talked to law enforcement. So we're not going to ask that question. How many of these 10 cadavers are
the Maui department? Okay. The press show is over. Yeah.
Right, so he's not going to answer my
done.
question.
Thank you.
Yeah, take pictures of me.
don't ask him about the numbers.
You're with Maui Police, right?
Yeah, he's done with the press conference.
Appreciate your patience. Sir.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. Who are you?
With the Maui Police Department.
Okay, and what's my crime? You're literally pushing me.
The press conference is
I
over.
don't f***ing care if the press conference is over. Get out of the way.
He goes right for the mayor.
All right, so it's our 110 cadavers, but we can't identify. We can't identify how many of them are children. This is get out of my fucking dude. Get off my throat.
Relax, sir. Relax.
No, I'm not gonna get.
Relax.
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm not gonna relax, dude. No, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm trying to ask a fucking question, and we can't get the answer for it. How many of the 110 dead are children? You know.
That's a simple
You know
fucking
who
question.
are children. They're cadavers. You have the bodies. You know how many of them are children. How many children are dead?
Step back, please.
How many children are dead?
Mayor?
Simple question.
So you're just not going to tell.
I don't know. I wish
Yes,
I knew
you
the answer.
do. How many children are missing? You
I
know.
wish I knew the answer to that. I would be happy to answer that.
You have no estimate as to how many children are missing?
I guess we can end this right now.
Wow. Mayor has no
This is
answer.
one of the biggest questions that the people of Lahaina have, but you don't want to answer.
It always takes one or two to ruin it for everybody.
Oh, one or two ruined it
Well,
for
we can say that
everybody.
about you. You ruined it for
End
everyone.
it shortly.
You're welcome to say it. You're the media. You can say whatever you want.
You're a disaster.
All right. Okay.
You've been the worst mayor we could possibly imagine.
You won't even wait.
Respect. Respect what? This is the most dismal response we've ever had.
You won't wait for your turn. You want to shout over these guys that are legitimate.
Why don't you give them the
are
real
legitimate
answers
media,
then?
so.
Give them the real answers.
That's not his question.
Let him. Yeah.
That's not an easy question.
You can go. You can go. Yeah.
Tell us how many children are missing.
Oh,
Sorry.
You can't tell me that that little tiny island doesn't have an idea of how many children are missing. That is a simple question. How many of the bodies that you've recovered are children? I don't know. I don't know. And he's so unconcerned. This is like nothing that we've ever experienced as Americans. Think about it. When we have national tragedies, normally the whole entire country comes out in support. Flags are half-staffed. We're putting ribbons out there of support, hashtag Ukraine. We can do it for Ukraine, but we can't do it for Hawaii. Why can't anybody ask questions? And where's the real media? You didn't see the real media asking any of those questions, right? So they want to shit on independent media. Oh, who is this person? You're not a real journalist. You fly here from wherever with your cell phone. But how come he's asking more pertinent questions than anybody who's supposed real media? That's my question. So you guys remember when I reported on Monday and I brought you guys that video of how a laser can choose the color that it's going to ignite? Oh, sweet. He joined me. I got the baby girl with me. And now it's coming out and it's being confirmed that these celebrities all have blue fucking roofs. Why is that? Why the heck are celebrities all painting their Maui properties the same weird shade of blue? This is dated October 18th, 2028 or 2022. Obama, Clinton, Hanks, DeGeneres, Tegan, Kid Rock, and now Oprah. What exactly do billionaires see in the frankly glup, off-putting color? Well, let me tell you what it is. Of course, I showed you the video last week or this week. I didn't bring it again. I know you guys have all seen it, where they take the laser and they go across these color swatches. And when it gets to the blue, it doesn't burn the blue. What is that? Yeah, vote blue, right? No matter who. Blue seems to be Satan's color, right? We got the UN and they're damn blue. That's why I added the UN flag to it, because I just see blue and think of the UN now. But, these are the same exact celebrities who we reported to you last week's houses didn't burn down. How ironic is that? But they love this narrative, right? The CIA loves that we are out there pushing the do narrative, because then we just look half crazy, half out of our minds. Here's Oprah walking into Lahaina. Yeah, and don't want to sell your beachfront property to BlackRock? Everybody gets a directed energy blast. Yeah, is that what really happened? We'll never know. We will never ever know. But there's still some questions about this police chief. Remember, we talked about he was the operations commander for the Vegas massacre in Las Vegas. What, 4 years ago? God, I can't believe it's already been that long. And now he's the chief of police during this major disaster where the sirens weren't sounded, the water was shut off, the police that were on duty and in the area were funneling people onto the same roads. They were shut all the roads down. They were pushing them all to the front. I've showed you guys all the videos proving that. But now, not only that, we find out he's the fucking coroner. Oh, he's the police of the chief police, and he's the coroner.
I got to tell you, I met with them. I'm also the coroner, for those that don't know that. He's the coroner too.
There's a lot of coincidences happening.
Yeah. So, okay. Here's the thing. We have that in my area too. A lot of blue states are ran this way to where they just like pick somebody from the community who is the coroner. Now, you and I grew up watching Quincy. When we think of coroner, right? Or all the SUV shows, all of the, all of the CSI type shows. When the coroner comes in, normally they're the ones that determine how somebody died, when somebody died, are they going to investigate it, whatnot. So in my county, the prosecuting attorney is playing coroner right now and has been for quite a few years. And she is not a medical doctor. He is not a medical doctor. They are not licensed at all. The only decision that they really make as coroner is whether there should be an investigation into somebody's death or not. Because then there's the medical examiner, which is different than the coroner. We always think that the coroner and medical examiner are the same thing. But in most blue areas, I hear that's not how it's ran. It's definitely not how it's ran in my state. So that's not too unusual. But in this case, okay, shouldn't the coroner have the numbers for us then? Shouldn't they have the, the death tolls? Who's missing? Who's not missing? Just saying. If he's the coroner, he should know that. Sorry, Rokfin, I didn't get to shout you out earlier. Good morning, Gregory, or good day. I forget it's noon. Jim's hanging out. Kate's over there too. Hey, Amber, what's up? Amber dropped the Roar Media at pm.me over in the Rokfin if you guys want to get your recipes submitted for the cookbook. We are working on it right now. Leonard Trust Fund. This is going to be a fun cookbook. We'll talk about it at the end of the show, but definitely send your recipes. Don't you want to be in the book with everybody else? And we're shaking down some people for recipes. We're like reaching out to all of the other independent media channels. So we could come up with some really good ones. Fred Edwards, thank you so much. I saw you putting my tweets out there early today. Falco, good to see you. And that is the Rokfin. Let's see who's hanging out on the kick. Zahar, welcome. And let's see. Rumble. I forget we're on the Rumbles. We're on the Rumbles. I got to find us on the Rumble, though. Sometimes there's people over there. Dingo hangs out on the Rumble. Dingo. And there's Dingo. Good to see you, Dingo. Okay, I had to mute it. Every time I log into one of those channels, I have to hear myself. Ugh, I hate hearing myself. Okay, that one was kind of out of order, but now we're back onto the lasers. Let's get back to Dew. Let's talk about Dew. So I've been telling you that these houses all have blue roofs. Let's see them. Here they are. That's Oprah's place right there. I don't think all of these are from Hawaii. I think they're just showing you examples of the blue roof. But the first one was Oprah's place in Hawaii. So that's what we mean when we say blue roofs. They, we see it. All the rich have those nice blue roofs now. They come in red too, but I wouldn't advise it. I'm seeing no Hawaiian flags on people's profiles like I did for the Ukrainian flag. Guess the news didn't tell anybody to do that. Yeah, I guess the news didn't tell anybody that they should support Americans in America in a time of crisis. But no, we're busy with Ukraine. And Ukraine, oh my gosh, go listen to Scott Ritter and Garland Nixon's show from this morning. Ukraine is so done. They've so got their asses fucking kicked. We waste so much money and so many lives in Ukraine. It's disgusting. And we're going to talk about it. I've got some stuff. Okay, we got to talk about this story. Have you guys heard the story? Now, this was all over the internet this morning about how a bunch of Marines supposedly caught FEMA digging a mass grave in Maui to dump all the bodies in so they could hide it. And anyways, they supposedly got into a big shootout with each other. So you've got Marines shooting at the FEMA dudes, and finally somebody throws a grenade and it blows up a Black Hawk helicopter and it falls out of the sky. I mean, this is so over the top. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is beyond funny. So, okay, let's hear the original report and then I will show you guys how it's bullshit and the site that it came from because it's kind of funny. Okay.
Going on in Maui. U.S. Marines engaged and neutralized a FEMA convoy in Maui. And I will add at the end of this video a couple screenshots from the article if you want to pause and read for yourself. The convoy was fleeing fire-stricken Lahaina and would have escaped had it not been for the Marines taking it down. The chase began early Friday morning when Marines and FEMA had a shootout in the Maui Forest Reserve east of Lahaina Beach. According to intelligence reports, the Marines caught FEMA red-handed burying corpses in an earthen grave the feds had excavated with a backhoe. A procession of FEMA agents hauled bodies of men, women, and children out of an M35 Deuce and a half and heaped them on top of each other as federal supervisors stood around smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. So the Marines dismounted a distance away from the camp and they crept up undetected. The Marines took cover and began firing on the feds, and a dozen of them fell immediately. And then the feds began screaming, saying, "Don't shoot, we give up." So this is obviously a pretty severe situation, and it's not surprising that you're hearing nothing about this on the mainstream media. Of course, we all know how reliable they are. As the FEMA helicopter that had extracted some of the members attempted to flee, the Marines fired 3 grenades from a Mach 19 mounted on a Humvee, and one clipped the rotor, and then another landed in the open doorway, causing the helicopter to explode and crash. So I'm not personally sure how true all of that really is, but this seems to be one of the first documented incidents that proves the motives that FEMA really has. FEMA's not here to help us. They're here to control us. They're here to take our freedoms away. They're here to lock you up, put a mask back on you, go take the vaccine. When I started posting on TikTok years ago and started getting banned, one account after the other, I told myself I was going to keep this up because the truth needs to be heard. Somebody needs to be telling what's really going on. So when the shit hits the fan, people aren't surprised. And I think for the most part now, a lot of people are awake, but nobody really knows what to do now. Nobody knows what the next step should be. But one thing I can say for sure is until all this gets figured out, FEMA is not the one to trust. Thank God we still have some true patriots in our Marine Corps.
Okay, guys, I'm not buying any of this damn story. I would have maybe bought into a little of it till he threw in the whole grenade and blew the Black Hawk up. So basically, this is called Real Raw News, and apparently they are a satire site. I guess there's been some controversy before. It's kind of funny because Amber sent me the story about the actual channel that put this out, which a look behind Real Raw News, sensationalist and fabricated headlines. I've never came across them before. I mean, is it far-fetched to think that FEMA would be trying to bury numbers? No. But is it far-fetched to think that the Marines caught them and opened up on them in Hawaii, and then they threw a grenade at a Black Hawk and it fell out of the sky and blew up? I mean, this is a little extreme. So the AP had to come out and make sure that you knew that this was all bullshit. So the Marines did not attack a FEMA convoy on Maui. The claim originated on a parody site. But, I just got to say that anytime that the AP tells me something, I want to think it's the opposite. I don't believe the AP as far as I can throw them. So do I count this story as completely 100% fiction? No. I'll count it as 99.9% fiction. But I feel like maybe there's a little hint of truth in there. I could see them digging a big hole and just trying to put this thing to rest, right? They won't give us any more numbers. So it's not that far off the reality spectrum, right? But I wanted you guys to know that was total bullshit. If a plane had definitely crashed and dropped out of the sky, there would be 2 planes. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't people on the island have noticed if a Black Hawk got blown up somewhere and crashed? Yeah, AP is full of shit all the time, guys. So if the AP's got to come out here and debunk this story, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder because I tend to believe independent media a hell of a lot more than I ever will the AP. So I'll keep an eye out for anything collaborating that story, but seems a little over the top. But I would like to think that the Marines would kick FEMA's ass. that would be good, right? I love how they threw the details in there, like they were smoking and it hit the tail blade. Like those, they knew exactly what kind of grenade it was shot from, and it was, how it was mounted. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that story? I remember seeing video of FEMA in Puerto Rico eating dinner at 4-star hotels while residents were starving and homeless. Abso-freaking-lutely. We have seen that over and over. All of these charities that come in to help these places. My son, he did mission work in Haiti. And think about the money that was raised for Haiti by all of these damn celebrities, the same ones that are out there right now saying that they're raising money. None of it went into that community, into that island at all. I expect the same thing here too. Okay, I think we're almost done with the Maui section. But I brought this for you, Boomer. Check out the Build Back Better. If you put 666 in it, it works. Just saying. So Hawaii Governor Josh Green says Maui will build back better. Yeah, 666.
To be a multi-year recovery. It's going to take essentially years to rebuild Lahaina, which was destroyed, but we will build it back better, and we'll build it back proudly.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
Ugh. My plan to build back better.
Oh, it's so gross. What's going to be the campaign slogan this year? It can't continue to still be Build Back Better. It'll be Built Back Better. I don't know. It's so gross. Let's see. This video came out of Turkey. Now, we have a whole list of potential smart cities, right? These 15-minute cities. And there's a lot of talk that the places that are future smart cities, they are clearing the way now, which means they got to get rid of you off the land one way or another, whether it be buy you out, evict you, or burn you out. And you guys have seen the fire maps. The fires that have popped up in the last 10 days is insane. The whole world's basically burning right now. But here, check out Turkey. This is a video from Turkey. Watch, there's no fire. There's no fire. Nope, there's the fire. You can hear the wind. And of course, those are sun dogs you're seeing, not lasers. Those are just sun dogs. That's what people will tell you anyways. Those were not lasers coming out of the sky and starting that fire. Those were sun dogs, and the fire was already on the ground. Let's see. What is this? This is the Canadian wildfire. Oh, this is so heartbreaking. Check this out. And it's planned to be the first 15-minute smart city in Canada.
This is one side of the lake. The lake is about 1.5 kilometers across. I had all the neighbors here watching the fire, and suddenly one of the embers crossed the lake, and now this side of the lake is on fire, and it's starting to move really fast. There is fire engine stuff there, but that ain't gonna help right now because I watched this thing take hold, and many houses have gone, and this here is heading north right now, but the prediction is wind from the north at 70. We had a weather warning, so I've got to go down and check my boat right now. So that's the update from Kelowna. So if you're on this side of the lake and you're anywhere near Clifton, Magic Estates, I would be packing a little bit and evacuating because the wind is meant to turn from the north. Good luck, everyone.
So this is Kelowna. Of course, it was planned to be the first 15-minute city. And yeah, that's the BC wildfire. I'm just below BC. I'm across the Strait of Juan de Fuca. So we've been getting the smoke pretty bad. It's been okay the last day or two. The wind's picked up a lot and blown a lot of the smoke out. But when we get strong winds like that coming out of the north, that that is devastating to these firefighters that are trying to fight this stuff. I don't believe all of it is directed energy weapon. I do believe a lot of it is normal forest fires, and we're very, very dry up here in the Pacific Northwest right now. Let me tell you, we normally get rain throughout the summer. We're known to be rainy, right? Vancouver and Seattle, that's the rainy cities. But we haven't had very much rain. We had a good downpour last night for a couple of, maybe an hour. But other than that, we've seen very little rain this summer. And it's devastatingly dry here. It really, really is. They've shut my water off, our irrigation water. So it's getting to that time where we're hitting the drought again. But let's talk about these 15-minute cities, because are they truly clearing the path to build these cities? Because that's what they want, right? They don't want us driving cars any longer. They don't want us to have to commute to work, because that's feeding climate, change. So they're going to build these cities where you're going to live in a building that you work in, that you shop in, and that you play in. That is the future. 2030, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Let's check it out.
Designing these new little mini cities that they call districts, where your building is going to have 500 or 600 units for living, then it's going to have office space, then it's going to have retail, all in the same building. Meanwhile, it's only going to have a few parking spaces. They're literally putting huge signs in the streets, and they all look exactly the same, and it says City of Toronto rezoning, and they are all identical. You'll see a building that was there previously getting torn down, and you're going to see what they call a mixed-use development, and it has residences on top, office buildings and retail in the middle and the bottom, and then almost no infrastructure for parking. There's not even enough parking for the people living there. You're supposed to live upstairs, work somewhere in the building, go to the gym or your Starbucks or your grocery store, everything in the building. So basically, you're living on lockdown your entire life, just like they wanted you to do with COVID. Remember with COVID when you were on lockdown and they said you couldn't go more than 5 kilometers away from your house? Well, if you don't have a car, guess what? You're never going to go more than 5 kilometers away from your house. And that's what the 15-minute city is designed to do.
That's what the 15-minute city is designed to do, to get you to stop traveling. Now, when you pair that with the social credit score that is already rolled out, I promise you already have social credit scores. You already do behind the scenes, whether you know it or not. And you will not be allowed to travel. You want to go to the other side of the country, you better be a good person and do exactly what they tell you to say and do, or you're not getting a ticket to go. You won't be allowed to leave your district. We're basically going into Hunger Game districts. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out in the next 5 years. And rich-splaining is a verb when a person who hasn't experienced poverty gives you patronizing advice on how to get out of poverty. Yeah, just stop buying all those lattes. It's those lattes. You shouldn't be allowed to own anything when you're poor. You're not allowed to buy good food. You have to buy crappy food. You're looked down upon if you're shopping with EBT. Oh God, how dare you buy a steak or some kind of expensive brand ice cream when you have EBT, because I'm paying for that with my tax dollars, right? That's the way we've always been treated. But if you're Raytheon or one of these big conglomerates, that we subsidize, Walmart, then it's not a big deal. They can go buy whatever the hell they want. It's so disgusting how the disconnect between the literal vulnerable poor and the rest of the world. Nobody knows. I think I'm going to skip this one just because I've already covered it. That's that Antarctic space laser. What is that guy's name? He's a whistleblower. Eric Hecker. Check out Eric Hecker. We've covered it a couple of times. So at the South Pole in Antarctic, they're supposed to have this big weapon. It's due. It's like they can bounce it off of the ice and they can create earthquakes. They can do all kinds of stuff with it. But I'm going to skip that just because we're on YouTube and I don't want to take a hit on YouTube. Jean-Pierre says, investing in America means investing in all of America. When I ran for president, I make a promise that I would leave no part of the country behind. I'm assuming she's talking about Joe Biden. And let's see, CNN makes a shocking pivot, says the perplexed but the corruption coming out of the Department of Justice as they continue to cover up for the Biden crime family, there's something I never thought I would hear. CNN analyst Ellie Horning blast the DOJ. Now, I was going to grab you guys the clip at this show. You guys know I've been busy, so I didn't actually get the clip of that, but you don't need to see it. It's fucking CNN. Who cares? But here's the thing. People on YouTube or on Twitter yesterday were losing their shit. Like, oh my God, CNN is turned on Biden. Stay with the plot, guys. Stay with the plot. We've been telling you guys for a long time now. They know they can't continue forward with Biden. They're going to get through they're going to get through the primary with Biden. Now, will they switch Biden out once we get to the general, or will they wait and see if they can cinch up that election with Biden and then replace him? Because even if he wins, he can't do 4 more years. We know he can't. So here is the plot, guys. Here is the plot. They are going to somehow switch Biden and probably Harris out because Harris's numbers are so damn terrible. I showed you the numbers on Monday. They have got to replace him. Now, the Mega Blue wants Pete Buttigieg. They love Pete. I was just at the doctor's office and I was told, oh, I love that Pete Buttigieg. I go, oh, you mean CIA Pete? Yeah. Oh, he just speaks so well. I said, yeah, they taught him that at the School of the Americas, where the CIA teaches you that. Oh, they just give me looks like, what are you talking about? What the hell's the School of the Americas? But so who are choices? We got Gavin Newsom, which Newsom's numbers were lower than a couple of other people. They got Michelle Obama. Who else could they put in there? So we're going to start out with, God, this deck is all over the place. Hold on. Let me see if I can find where that's at. Okay. First of all, they want to put Hillary Clinton back in there. I'm telling you guys, never, ever, ever count out the blue MAGA. The Hillary for America, the HFA, they were the worst trolls I have ever dealt with in my life in 2016. They didn't go away in 2017. They were headed up by David Brock. Do you guys remember this nightmare cartoon character? Yeah, he was with the crazy white hair. He was Hillary's #1 hitman, especially online. I'm telling you guys, and I've been telling you guys for 2 weeks, they're going to try to figure out how to put Hillary back in there. I'm not even kidding. And now the media is starting to say that too. So Hillary Clinton, 2024 election comeback. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been unpopular. It may be time for a change candidate. Oh, there you go. Change candidate. Do you want to change candidate? I don't want to change candidate. And then, but who's polling the best? Michelle Obama. Democrats beg Michelle Obama to run in the 2024 secret back channel talks to replace bumbling Joe Biden, news reports claim. Insiders are allegedly begging Michelle Obama to make the major political move. Let's face it, people have been wanting Michelle to run for president for years now. That's not new information. However, it seems a lot of people are working behind the scenes and are even allegedly begging the Become author to join the 2024 presidential race. And that was dated yesterday. So there you go. We're going to end up with one of these guys. I'm telling you. Michelle, she might be a safe bet because she hasn't been in politics and people love her, right? Yeah, people love her. And then they're really going after Cornell. Do you guys see all the smear hit pieces on Cornell this week? Oh, he doesn't pay his child support and he owes back taxes. And every time I see the child support one pop up, I'm just like, you know what? That just makes me love him more. Every damn man I know in the trailer park owes some form of child support, or they did. So, yeah, I'm supposed to hate him because he owes taxes. And did you guys get this little piece of info? Who flew on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express plane? Is that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? No way. No way. I can't confirm this, guys. I don't know if this is real. I have heard it in a couple of different rumblings. Of course, we have never, ever actually seen an Epstein list, but we do have the flight logs from the Lolita Express. And apparently Robert F. Kennedy was on those lists. I love this picture of Cornell. This is the best picture. It makes me giggle every time I look at this picture. I just can you imagine being at Harvard? You open the student handbook and there's Cornell smiling at you. I love it. I mean, there's things I like about Kennedy and there's things I like about Cornell, but at the end of the day, one's running as a Democrat, which will have no fucking way in hell unless he's intended to be there. And Cornell and his third party, I hope people vote third party. I really do. But will it make a difference? No. Because the establishment's never going to let a third party pull at 15%. It's never going to happen. They control the mechanisms. They control it all, right? And until we get rid of goddamn voting machines and start doing in-person voting, they can do whatever they want. So I just find it amusing. I find it funny. So if you guys could back up the whole JFK Jr.'s been on Epstein's Island, please send it to me. I need some info on this shit. I really do. Too funny. I don't know if it's a sick joke. It's 2024 is a sick joke for sure, Chili. I gotta just show you guys this Cornell picture one more time. It's just too good. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Especially when you think about what Harvard is, right? Those stuck up uppity people. But you know, they want to get rid of Biden. They want to get rid of Biden so bad that they've hired planes to fly around Delaware with signs saying prosecute Hunter Biden.
Man, this is crazy. This is the Biden active vacation. Welcome to Delaware.
Delaware, prosecute Hunter Biden. I wonder if that's Biden's speech. Is that where they keep getting pictures of Biden at? It probably is. I'll bet you that's Biden's speech. And deer season is so close, Joe can almost smell it. Yeah, I love that meme. That's a great meme. It's so gross. So gross. Is this what I think it
Ellie,
is?
glad you stuck around here. So when we look at this evolution, it really is quite the evolution.
I
in a
found the
fairly short
video.
period of
Okay, the
time.
one I was telling you from CNN that I didn't have, I found it. Apparently it just got moved. I didn't have time this morning to get my shit in a row like I normally do. So I apologize that we are all over the place today, but let's check it out. This is what this is CNN turning on Joe Biden.
Ellie, glad you stuck around here. So when we look at this evolution, it really is quite the evolution in a fairly short period of time, according to the New York Times. I know you've noted on multiple occasions just how long this investigation had dragged on. Have you ever seen a federal case play out like this before?
No, Erica, it's really inexplicable to me. I mean, first we had basically 5 years of behind-the-scenes investigation with no transparency, no action, and some questions being asked. What's taken so long? But in the last couple months, we've seen a pattern here, and Marshall just laid it out. We've now seen it play out 2 or 3 separate times. DOJ moves towards a very lenient disposition. They're just about to lock in that lenient disposition. And then there arises pressure, either through whistleblower testimony or through public scrutiny. And then DOJ backs off and says, actually, we're not going to do that now that it's been called out. We're going to try to up it a little bit. And then that happened again. And then they go all the way to appointing special counsel, the same guy who's been presiding over the case for 5+ years already. So I genuinely am perplexed by what DOJ is doing here. I think they've made a real mess for themselves, and now they're going to have to deal with the consequences of it.
So in terms of the mess and those consequences, look, public trust is certainly one of them. Is there anything that you see that
and you
DOJ
guys are the
could
big
do,
problem
based on
with
your
public
experience, right, as a
trust?
former federal prosecutor, to restore public confidence in this investigation? Is the only way to fix this a trial?
It may be, Erica. You know, DOJ's sort of been in a darned if they do, darned if they don't posture on this from the start, but they've made it way worse by sort of careening back and forth here. It may well be that any deal is never going to be accepted as fair. So if I'm in David Weiss's shoes here, heaven help me, I would just say, look, we're charging everything we have. We're not in position to make a deal. It'll go to trial, and we'll let the jury decide this. I think that's the only way to restore any credibility to this matter.
Ellie, appreciate it as always, my friend.
How was that CNN turning on the Bidens? That's not CNN turning on the Bidens. And I love when they say, oh, public trust. Who is the people who have gutted public trust? CNN, MSNBC, such bullshit. Okay, just in from Amber. It's confirmed. His whole family was on Lolita, which apparently irritated the shit out of Jeffrey since it was a gaggle of kids he couldn't single out and, diddle. And Kennedy owned it when asked. Okay, good to go. So there you go. JFK Jr. was on the Lolita Express. It sounded like, I've done a lot of reporting on the Epstein case over the years, and it sounds like anybody they thought that they could leverage or that had a reputation that they would look good aligned with, like Kennedy name, they would invite down to the island. It doesn't necessarily mean that every single person that went down there was down there trafficking kids and doing the bad things that we know about, right? But it still makes you go, what the fuck? He didn't see? You didn't get the red flags from that guy? I don't know. But I'm not a big Kennedy supporter, so there you guys go. It has been confirmed. Let's see. I got a system update. Let's talk about Ukraine war. It's bad. It is so bad. Like, the front line is falling apart for the Ukrainian side. The deaths that we've heard, the death tolls I've reported to you guys on Monday are just through the roof, but America doesn't care. Our State Department is pretty much like, yeah, this has been a pretty cheap war for us. It wasn't our lives that were getting shredded over there. It wasn't American boots on the ground. So we could give a shit less if all those Ukrainians died. But it sounds like Ukraine's going to end up with a lot less land than what they thought they were going to end up with. And I love these delusional idiots here in America who seem to think that they have some kind of fucking leverage over Putin to tell him that they're going to sign a peace agreement and he's going to stop being friends with China. Like, that's where these morons are at. Like, they think that, and they don't care that if Putin says no, because hey, that just means we stay in war. We go, more money for war, more money for war. But when does it stop? How many nukes have got to be dropped on Europe before it stops? How bad does Europe got to get before America goes, oh, we probably shouldn't do this to our allies? Because that's who it's hurting. It's not hurting Russia. Go check out Fee's feed. Go check out Tara Reid's feed. Russia is doing very fucking well. They're insulated now. They don't have to worry about acquiring stuff from outside. We've shut them off. They figured out their routes and they still get everything that they need. They don't have McDonald's anymore. Oh, boo-hoo. They don't get unhealthy, nasty foods. This shit, it's insane what we've done to the Russian people, or the Ukrainian people. And in the name of we're here supporting you. No, we used you and we slaughtered you. That's what the Americans did. So let's hear from Glenn Greenwald on how it's going. Do you guys see Zelensky's got a new pad? I didn't bring it, but he's got some new villa. Wonder where he got the money from that. Maybe out of your paycheck? Just saying.
It's hard not to reach the conclusion that the United States wanted this war and continues to want this war for reasons having nothing whatsoever to do with the welfare of the Ukrainian people, which could not be suffering more severely as a result of this war, and everything to do with American self-interest. And the one thing I would add is that it's time to remember that the CNN polling and other polling showing that majorities of Americans have now turned against this war and no longer believe the United States should continue to fund it, have one exception, one demographic group that continues overwhelmingly to want this war to continue. Those are self-identified liberal Democrats who by a massive margin of 75 to 25% want this war to continue. And I vehemently believe the reason for that is because the liberal section, the liberal wing of the Democratic Party has been feeding on anti-Russian hatred from their media for years now. They blame the Russians and the Kremlin for the most cataclysmic event of their lives, which is the defeat of Hillary Clinton in 2016. Mm-hmm. And there's no geopolitical rationale, there's no moral rationale. They want this war to continue because they hate the Russians for helping Hillary lose and want to see them suffer, and are more than happy to sacrifice as many young Ukrainian men and as much of Ukraine as possible in order to satisfy their bloodlust to make Russia pay in vengeance for the 2016 election. When you think about it that way, it's hard to imagine a more amoral, a cruder, a more repellent motive for a war than this one. But whatever else is the case, no matter how well-intentioned you might have been genuinely at the start of the war and wanting U.S. support for Ukraine, it is now clear 18 months later that there is nobody suffering worse from this war than Ukraine and the Ukrainians. And it seems as though that recognition is increasingly coming not from anti-war elements in the West, but from the Ukrainians themselves.
Yeah, he nailed it on the head. I remember being inside the Democratic Party in 2015, and then we got hacked. The Bernie delegates, our servers got hacked in February of 2016, and that was the very first time I heard Russia brought into it. Remember, they tried to say that the Bernie people hacked Hillary's server, but it was actually the other way around, and we knew it was them. We caught them, and we absolutely 100% knew it was them, and they told us it was Russia. So that was the first time they pulled in Russia, and we were all just dumbfounded, like, Russia? Why would Russia have something? Oh, Russia wants to interfere with our elections. That crazy Putin, he wants to get us. That was the first time we were like, what the hell are you talking about? And then after August of 2016, and then she loses, and then it's all Russia, 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 Russia. I mean, they were throwing the Russia shit accusations around in 2016 during the primary, and as we were in the general, you go back. I remember Donna Brazil saying it, Tony Podesta, when the WikiLeaks dropped. Oh, it was Russia. They stole my emails. We know better now, but this has been their vengeance for them not getting their candidate in 2016. I absolutely 100% believe that. And that is why I believe that they do and will have the balls to put Hillary Clinton forward again. People are like, oh, people hated her. Not in their delusional bubble. If you live in Libville, where everything's perfect and Donald Trump's going to go to prison, well, Hillary Clinton's a good candidate. She knows what she's doing. She ran the State Department. She's a global leader. She runs the Clinton Foundation. So why couldn't we put her in there? She's better than Biden or Harris. You wait for it. It's coming. I promise you. And sadly, the Ukrainians paid the price for that ultimately, didn't they? Did you guys see the BRICS summit happened this week? And we're screwed. We are so screwed. They are coming together, and they have had it with America, and they are done with our bullying. They are done with our strong arming, and they're going to do it on their own. And I'm glad they're doing it on their own, but we're going to fill it. We're not going to not fill this in America, guys. It's so bad. We have it coming, though. We've been the world's bully for 150 years, right? I mean, we just go around, we colonize, we take what we want, we strip your resources. We are the only country in the world that matters. That's just the reality that we are going to come to deal with. I mean, that's what it is. We're going to fill this. We so are. Man struggling to feed family, just glad he could help fund a war with his taxes. And look at this. Algeria bans French military planes from its airspace. Oh, it's almost like all of Africa is coming together and saying, get the fuck out of here, West. Yeah, that could be bad news. Because you can't have your phone, you can't have your smart car, you can't have any of that unless we get the resources out of that country, right? And that's what it's always been about, is the resources. But good news, they found a lot of these same resources here in the United States. They just got to pilferage the land, strip it, and they can pull it out. What did I hear? They've got lithium in the middle of California. They've got cobalt in the middle of California, and they're going to start mining that stuff right here at home. So there you are, right here at home. But don't fret, guys, because we're going to be locked down for it anyways. Lockdowns are coming back. Have you heard? Yes, I've heard that lockdowns are coming back. So everything is a scam, folks. COVID, climate change, elections, all of it. Yeah, I agree. So August 20th, 2023, greetings, facility staff and students. Effective immediately, Morris Brown College has reinstated its COVID-19 mask mandates due to reports of positive cases among students in Atlanta University Center. Over the next 14 days, the following protocols will be in place. Wear masks. All students and employees are required to wear a mask. Staff may remove their mask in their office when they are alone. Physical distancing. Students must maintain a physical distance. Large gatherings, institutional guidelines for gathering sizes must be followed. There will be no parties and no large student events on campus for the next 2 weeks. Remember, it started out with 2 weeks last time too. 2 weeks to curve to flatten the curb. That's not what they were saying. Isolation and quarantine. Students must adhere to institutional policies and CDC guidelines for isolation and quarantine. 5, contract tracing. Oh, Amber, your favorite. Compliance with the college's initiated contact tracing efforts is expected. Symptoms monitoring. So students and employees are obligated to undergo temperature checks upon campus arrival. Oh, we're back at that. What fun. And number 7, of course, regular hand washing and sanitizing. Frequently washing your hands is expected from all the students and employees. Here we go again. So I asked my doctor about this, my doctor friend today. I said, I hear that we're getting back to, COVID mandates. And he just laughed. He threw his head back. He was like, yeah, that's never going to happen. Never say never. I see it happening. They got a big ouchie Fauci booster coming. That's rolling out here in a little less than a month, right? But my doctor friend did tell me that COVID is rampant right now in our area and everybody he knows has got it. And I just was like, but did they die? I know I'm terrible, but did they die? No, everybody gets the goddamn flu or cold. Remember when we used to all get intermittently sick? Like, oh, I got a flu or, oh, I got a cold a couple times a year. You went down. Well, now every time you get sick, it's going to be COVID. But what strain is it going to be? That's the question. So let's see here. Wait until everyone finds out the hospitals nationwide emmed people simply to collect COVID subsidiaries at 48,000 per death. Yeah, we knew that. And a new COVID variant is on the rise. How worried should it be? It is important that we stay level-headed as new subvariants emerge and mutate in the coming weeks and months. Oh, wasn't a big deal for like the last year, and now all of a sudden it's a big deal again. I don't know. It's almost like something's up, right? Let's hear from Face the Nation because, every Sunday they get out there and fear porn for you. So let's see what they were scaring you with this weekend.
For a look at some health concerns on the horizon as we approach the end of summer, including a rise in COVID cases and questions about updates to vaccines. We're joined now by former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb.
The
He
expert.
also sits on the board of Pfizer, and it's great to have you here in person, Doctor.
Thanks a lot.
I want to start on some news we got Thursday. The CDC announced a highly mutated strain of COVID has just shown up in Michigan, BA 2.86. How concerned does the public need to be?
Well, right now, I've talked to a number of virologists who are usually pretty staid, and they're pretty concerned about this. Right now, it doesn't appear to be spreading widely. There is 7 strains that have been identified and sequenced in 5 different countries, so the UK, Denmark, Israel, and now in the US. We don't know whether or not this has been spreading quietly and we just didn't detect it, or it's something that's spreading very quickly. The concern is that when you look at these different strains that have been identified, they're genetically very similar. So that suggests that it's probably spreading simultaneously in multiple countries. Whether or not this is going to be more transmissible than what we've seen before, that's the key question. Certainly at this point, it doesn't appear more pathogenic, so it doesn't appear to be more dangerous, but it may be more transmissible than the strains that are circulating now, and in that case, it could overtake them. It's too early to know. The testing's underway. I think we're going to know a lot more in a week or two, but to, again, put this in perspective, this new variant is as genetically different from Omicron as Omicron was from the original strain that emerged in Wuhan. So this is a highly mutated variant.
As you engineered
and
that
set
way?
off some alarm bells at that time. So we will watch this. But for people at home who say, oh my gosh, I've heard someone has COVID, the strain that's causing most infections is not this one.
Right. So right now, the 2 strains that are circulating causing most of the infections is what's called EG5. People have probably heard about that. It's called the Eris strain. And this other strain, FL151. They both have a very similar mutation in them called the 456 mutation that allows them to pierce the immunity that we've acquired from prior infections and also from prior vaccinations. So people are getting infected with that. The good news is that where we are right now relative to where we were last summer when BA5 was spreading is a lot better. So there's far fewer infections. We have probably roughly about 600,000 infections a day happening based on the modeling work that's been done, looking at wastewater data. And there's about 10,000 people that have been hospitalized in the last week. And to compare that to last year at this point, we had 40,000 people hospitalized, and we were running probably about 1.2 million infections a day.
Well, for those strains,
I'm not listening to this whole thing. You guys get it. That's Dr. Scott Gottlieb. That is the former head of the FDA. He was the commissioner, but he also is known by all of these titles on the same channel. So, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, the former FDA commissioner, the Pfizer alumni board member, and a CNBC contributor. Which one do I trust less? Let's go in order of Pfizer, FDA, then CNBC. I don't trust any one of these organizations, let alone Dr. Scott Gottlieb. But you guys remember about 3 years ago when I was speculating that Dr. Scott Gottlieb had to be related to Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, who was the driving doctor for MK Ultra? Do you guys remember that? Anyways, I was hanging out over on Jason Burmis, and he brought it up too. So I'm not the only one asking if there is a relation between those two. They just happen to be in the same industries doing weird, crazy shit. I don't know. An alumni just means like he's been there a long time, what is the exact meaning of alumni? Like if you went to Harvard, you're a Harvard alumni, right? So he is an FDA alumni, meaning he used to work at the FDA, but now he's pimping out to other places. I brought you guys a funny because I just cracked up when I saw this. This is Jim Brewer. That's right. This is so funny because it's the reality. If we, he says, just to give you context, he says, I think of COVID as a Broadway show, and then you can get it from there. Come on.
I feel like, I mean, when I take all steps back, I feel like this is going to be a Broadway play in 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, what? 6 foot safe. Social distance, 6 foot safe. Five-foot danger. 6 foot safe. 5-foot danger. If you're 6 foot safe, I'm 5-foot danger. I'm coming to breathe on you. I'm the grandma killer. Listen to the rules. Here come the governors. Bump, 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 bump. We have no rules and regulations. We shall determine who is essential. We shall determine who may go at your house and who shall have a muffin. And remember, if you see any children playing uns outside together, report them and their parents! This is for your safety! Six foot safe! And then the news cockatoos come out. Watch the news, watch the news! Trust the experts. Trust the experts. Trust the science. Trust the science. CDC, CDC. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci. Mask on, mask off. 2 shots, 1 shot. Mask on, 2 masks. Comply, comply.
6 foot safe.
Do what you are told. It is for your safety.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. People want to fight and argue. You don't understand what's going on. Everyone knows a doctor. I know doctor. And they told me like there's a stockpile.
Facts and figures, facts and...
Don't ask questions. I've been flying on planes for months. Flying on a plane. This is when I knew, like, all right, this is so dangerous. Keep grandma in the basement. Wait for, wait. But you can go fly wherever you like.
At his flight, he does a whole segment on being on planes, which is hilarious, especially if you were on a plane during COVID. The whole put your mask on, keep it on, take it off, eat, put it back on. It's insane. I mean, the insanity that we live through, that is just, I mean, common sense tells you it is insanity. And Jim Brewer, I dropped his channel link in the main chat. So yeah, go follow him. Funny guy. He's one of those comics out there actually telling you the truth. But here, check out this little clip that I came across that shows you just how well masks work. You want me to play it again? Are you guys good? Did you get it? You see how tiny compared to everything else they put in there? If a mask makes you feel better, wear it. But I don't think it's doing much to protect you. And Amber has done so many deep dives into it. We had at the beginning of COVID, just like, I mean, I'm like most, I'll put it on to appease people because I don't want to have to fight some Karen, but I know better. Jamie Lee Curtis is encouraging followers to mask up again with COVID on the rise. And we're back. Yeah, she is the proprietor of knowing everything COVID. So make sure you're taking your medical advice from Jamie Lee Curtis, please. Jimmy Dore thought that was fucking hilarious. Did you guys see Pasta was hanging out on Jimmy's on Monday? I'm wondering if he's going to be on today. I don't know, but he's doing a great job over there. I think he's getting some truths out. I worry about Pasta. Like, I know Jimmy doesn't go to the extreme that some of us do. So it's scary. The conspiracy theorists who warned you about vaccine mandates, vaccine passports, perpetual lockdowns, and uncontrolled inflation were right. And now they're warning you about digital ID, social credit, central bank digital currencies, climate lockdowns, and energy rationing. Yeah, that's where we're at. Digital currency, credit scores, climate lockdowns, and you can't use no energy because the rich people need it. That's what it comes down to, basically, because they won't stop using energy in their big mega mansions, their McMansions, but we will, right? We'll turn off our air conditioners because they'll just shut the power off to us. Okay, guys, let's see where we at. Weather manipulation. Did you guys know that NASA is now in on the cloud seeding game and geoengineering? Check this machine out that they have.
Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And, as it turns out, the cleanest.
Oh yeah, it's so clean.
Now, the most amazing thing is that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain. I told you. It's raining. That's unbelievable. Oh. NASA's playing God. It's making...
NASA's playing God. I hate to break it to you. Yeah, they're all playing God. And if you think for 1 second they can't control the weather, you are misinformed and out of the loop. You've missed the point. They all got it now. And, you know, we see these big planes and stuff, but they have, what do they call it? Atmospheric injections now that they can do from these little tiny portable, they're like a little trailer. They're like a little travel trailer. They just hook it to a truck and they can drive it wherever they want it and hook it up. So they can mess with the weather wherever they want. Who was right? Journalists versus conspiracy theorists. Hunter's laptop. I'm giving that one to conspiracy theorists. Vaccines are harmful. Oh, I got to give that one to the conspiracy theorists. Pandemic. Yeah, I'm going to give that one to the conspiracy theorists. Lockdowns, ivermectin, HCQ works. Yep, every single one. Useless face masks, Twitter censorship, Epstein's Island, Ukrainian biolabs. Oh, God, I loved when people push back on me on the biolabs. Oh, that's not real. Yeah, it is real. You know, the trafficking, Russiagate, and the fake Steele dossier. We told you all these things in real time. For sure. We did. Every single one of them. And the journalists haven't got anything right. Not one damn thing. Okay, let's talk about Elon. Let's talk about Elon. Do you know that when you're tweeting stuff on X, that in the line of code for your channel, that you could possibly have something in there that they've assigned to you that keeps your post from being seen. Now, we all know this. We all know we're shadow banned and algorithmically suppressed, right? So in the name of transparency, these should be 100% visible on your profiles. They should be, but they're not. And this little box here, oh, no, go back. This little box right here, that is that's just proof of the code. And all it says is these things. So labels you might have right now, do not amplify. When your reputation drops too low, downrank spam reply. If you reply to too many times in a time period. So I keep getting hit with that one, the spam one, because if I post my show links, then they say I'm spam. Duplicate content, which means you post the same thing over and over. I know a few of those. Engagement spammer. You spam engagement too often. Now, I think I've got that one too, because I like to drop memes on or GIFs on people. Let's see. Gore and violence, a high persecution. You post violent materials, low quality. I assume this might have to do with misspellings or spam. So if you have misspellings now, you're getting labeled in the code as low quality. NSFW avatar or an NSFW banner, graphic content in the PFP banner. Can't believe by many PEFs get away with this. Okay, so they're putting graphic content into their banners or their personal profile pic. That's what that is. The NSFW text, cursing or violent text in your post. I'm sure I probably have that in mind because I curse. Let's see. Recent misinformation strike. So labeled as misinformation spreader. I wonder how this is determined. Oh, we know how that's determined. And recent profile modification, changing your profile's appearance to ding you. So they ding you for that. So these are just a few of the things that they're putting on the backside of your code when you're posting. And there's no way for you to see it or know which ones that they've labeled you with. But you can just assume if you have 1,000 followers and only 2 people see your stuff, you probably have a bunch of those labels on you, is the way I'm looking at it. Right. And Elon, let's see, Starlink. Oh, Elon saving Hawaii. So Starlink brings Hawaiian residents back online. I've been on the ground here in Maui for 5 days now, and I can truly attest to the fact that if Elon Musk didn't provide residents with Starlink internet receivers, the area would be a total blackout zone. Now, we saw a huge expose done by Rowan Farrow, right? Mia Farrow's son, Ronan, the one that kind of ousted Epstein, or not Epstein, Weinstein. You know, he did a deep dive into the casting couch. So he thinks he's got this expose out on Elon. And I took the time to read the whole goddamn thing. It's in the New Yorker. That's right. It's in the New Yorker. And I took the whole time to read it, and I came away not knowing anything new and just saying, what the fuck? You just told me everything I already knew. So basically, the government is crying because Elon has leveraged them so hard in so many different industries, right? He's going to be the proprietor of this new green revolution that we're having with his smart cars and, his satellite links. And so he single-handedly was supplying and paying for Starlink for the Ukraine, for the military. And this is the 100% how the military is communicating in Ukraine. And Elon got butthurt a couple of weeks ago and said, you know what? I really want peace. He's getting pressure from other world leaders, Putin, saying, what the hell are you doing? You expect to sell us your technology, your cars, and everything else you want to sell us, but then you're using your technology to kill our soldiers and kill our people. And he said, Elon said, I don't want my technologies used for war. So he goes to the US government and he goes, hey, you guys need to start paying for your own satellite, and I'm done supplying it for free. And if you don't come up with a reasonable agreement to how you're going to compensate me, I'm just going to shut it off. Well, they just ignored him. Basically, they were like, oh, whatever. And so he shut it off. Well, as soon as they shut it off, they lost their shit. They stopped ignoring him because they lost 100% of communication out on the front fucking line. They had platoons trapped. There was no way to get them in and out. So people Starlink, right? We need people Starlink. So the government said, okay, fine. We'll figure this out. Well, it's not just the Ukraine war and Starlink that is being leveraged. Now, mind you, Biden got into a contract over the last couple of years with Tesla to supply all the charging stations in the United States. We got to have all these charging stations for these smart Teslas. Well, instead of doing universal charging stations, which means any smart car could pull up to it and plug in and no, they went exclusively Tesla. Well, Tesla is not getting the cars out like they were supposed to. People are not buying them like they were supposed to. And now all this infrastructure that we need for these smart revolution that they're pushing us through is not even out there now. So yeah, go buy a smart car, and then when it runs out of charge, there's no place to charge it. And then the article went on for, I'm not even kidding, probably 25 minutes of Rowan talking to people who know Elon. And the only thing I walked away with was, most people think that Elon wants to save the world. He does. He truly wants to save the world. He knows the bad stuff that's coming. He can foresee it, but he wants to be the one to save it. He doesn't want any help from anybody else. That's basically the only thing after 25 minutes with that article that I came away with. So there you go. Fuck Elon. Maybe you shouldn't, give that much power to one man, and then the government would be able to leverage him. But you guys gave him so much fucking power with all of these fucking government contracts that he is the richest man in the world and he has more leverage than you. Duh. I mean, it was just a duh article. Not it. I don't know why these people are shocked by this. Hey, get back here. Not the only thing that's getting built, though. Do you guys see this little one? New York is building the world's tallest jail in Chinatown. Can anyone stop it? Yeah. Planners say the facility will help heal the criminal justice system. It's in a smart jail by local residents to see a brutal symbol of incarceration. Yeah, that's what it is. But, we're going to have smart cities. I'm sure we're going to have smart prisons too, right? Where they're just all vertical. They're not going to take a big, massive footprint. I don't know, but that's just horrible. We are the prison state in the world, so why is it any shocking? Politicians don't love you. You shouldn't love them. It's weird and embarrassing. Yes, it is weird and embarrassing. Stop that. Stop loving politicians. All these people out there that are so head over heels for Cornell or head over heels for RFK Jr. It's just like, wake up. Wake up, guys. Smart cities equal smart prisons. Good one, man. To talk to you. Absolutely right. Hey, did you guys hear? Jeffrey Epstein's sex slave mansion finally sold to a mystery buyer. Oh, so this was the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. And I did a big deep dive into this a couple of years ago. And there's some really shady shit with this place. For one, the DOJ, the FBI, they never really even searched this place. This was supposed to be where Epstein had his baby making factory, where he was keeping women and popping out kids and doing whatever he was doing with them. Remember, he was selling his, or he was harvesting his eggs and doing all kinds of weird shit. Like, he single-handedly wanted to repopulate the world, and he was going to do it from the Zorro Ranch. But I remember when I dug into the Zorro Ranch, there was some really shady shit with the former governor of New Mexico, which was like, is his name something King? I remember it was King. And he was like a sausage king or something, is where he got all his money. Pork commodities. That's where it is. Anyways, this property has got like a helipad to it because it's so far in the middle of fucking nowhere in New Mexico. But the helipad is owned by the state, which was given to them from this king, this former governor of New Mexico. So, I mean, there's a lot of shady hands in there. There always has been. Why they never checked it? We were told there was tunnels there too. Did they check for tunnels? No, they haven't checked for anything. We never even really saw any pictures come out of Zorro from the FBI. So I'm sure this is some kind of backhand deal, and we will never know who actually picked it up. Who is the mystery buyer? I don't know. We will never know, but we have heard some horrors that happened there. Of course, Maria Farmer and her sister were put there for a while, and they had some really bad stories about their time there. So, yeah, I just want, I don't know. Name something even Bill Gates can't buy. His soul? I don't know. What can't Bill Gates buy? People liking him? I don't know. There's his way out of hell. You guys know. Crazy isn't it? Crazy isn't questioning everything. Crazy is accepting everything without doing your own research. Yes, it is. It truly is. Okay, we're getting down to Meme Alley, which means we're getting out of here soon. Let's see. Look, there are all those trails of cows farting. Yes, it's the cows farting. I don't know. That's a stupid meme, but it's funny. Raise your hand if you're tired of this shit. Oh, definitely. Finish your current project, start a new one. Artist, did you just take both pills? Yeah, that's totally me. I would too. I would take both pills. Screw it. Let's go all the way. And your gardening meme for the day. You know you're an adult when you got a garden full of plants you can't smoke. Oh, isn't that the truth? That is so the truth. The garden's doing good. God, the sunflowers, they're about 14 feet tall now. All of the heads have popped, but like 3 of them. So they're massive. The honeybees are in love. They're just, I don't see any of the mean bees over there. The honeybees love those sunflowers. So I'll get you guys a picture out here in the next day or two. I'm waiting for the last few to pop and then but definitely the Russian sunflower kicked the fuck out of the American sunflowers. Those American hybrids are not even as tall as me. They're a pretty little sunflower, but they're not those big old Russian mammoths. We love those. And this is how out of it I was today. You can write Assange. I didn't even get an Assange post up here. You can definitely still write Assange for now. It could be any minute that we can be told that he is on his way to the United States or he is in the United States, and it will be all hands on deck at that time. So just keep watching the feeds. If it happens, a whole shit ton of us are going to be moving towards the country to DC to go defend Assange. And happy Silly Wednesday from the Coffee Barn. This is Joey's Coffee. You guys can order Joey's Coffee if you get a hold of Oz. Ugh, some of the best coffee out there for sure. And I don't just say that because I like Oz and Joey. I'm saying that because it is truly the best coffee out there. And just one more shout out. Happy birthday wish to the Boomer from all of the fams. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, youngster. I think that's my brain must work in loops because I swear to God, I built the same card for him last year for his birthday. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old and repetitive. And if you guys want to help me out, the GoFundMe links and all of the links are down below. I appreciate it. We are getting closer to hitting the goal. And the cookbook. Now I want to talk about the cookbook. Let's talk about the cookbook. Oh, I don't have the cookbook in here. I thought he did. Let me see. Is it further down? Maybe I have it further down. I guess I just don't have it on the Wednesday deck yet. Okay, so oh, sorry guys. We're doing a cookbook here at Roar Media. And we want your recipes. So it's not just going to be your recipes and our recipes. We are asking everybody for recipes. We are reaching out to all the other independent media. You know, we're going to try to get recipes from them. We want recipes from you. Send us pictures, send us ideas, or just write it down, type it out and send it to me. You can PM me, you can PM Amber, you can DM us, or you can send it to, roarmedia.pm me. Is that what it is, Amber? I'm trying to find it. I know it's in the chat. I will put it back up. I will post it on my timeline. But you guys have already started sending them in, and they look amazing. I get hungry just reading the ingredients. Like, oh, this looks really good. So I'm excited for that. I don't know what we're calling it yet, but we did have a meeting this week. And so we got the logistics of everything figured out. And yeah, we're going to start getting it built. You know, we're doing this to raise money to get to Argentina to observe the election there. And I think that's in October. So we got to get the lead out, get these made and get them sold so we can raise the money to go. Okay. It's roarmedia@pm.me. That's where you can send your recipes for the Roar Media cookbook. And I think it'll be fun. I can't wait to read it. I love those little community cookbooks. They always have the best stuff in them, the best recipes. You know, I don't want a recipe from some commercial Betty Crocker. I want a recipe from you that your grandma used, you know? That's the stuff I want. Okay, guys, we did it. We made it through a midday show. Not a long show, but Oz and I'll be back Saturday night with Beauty and the Boomer. No shows on Friday. I feel like when I do a show every Friday, I rob from Beauty and the Boomer because I'm taking content for Friday. So I'm going to only do Uncensored every other Friday. And Beauty and the Boomer can have all the funny stuff. And let's hope we're actually funny this week. We weren't that funny last weekend. But it's so hard to be funny when the world's burning around you, right? It is. Well, thank you so much for joining me. V made it. Hey, V, what's up? Natalie Williams is still hanging out. Wesley, good to see you. Popeye, thanks for hanging in there. Gamer, good to see you, Gamer. 4737 Carlin. At least if he's in jail, they can't really kill him without a lot of questions. Yeah. I'm not sure who we're talking about, but I don't know. Epstein thought he was safe in jail. Happy birthday to Oz the Boomer. Kim, thank you. DJ Yona, thanks for joining us. Snow Leopard. Anthony, good to see ya. Who else came in that I didn't get to shout out? I got Mana Talk earlier. Skaroo Google has made it in. Good to see you. Let me shout out the Rumble too. Rumble, let's see. Dingo over there says the Hulk came and smashed FEMA. That's just as believable as the Marines, right? That was a funny story. If you guys come up with any follow-up to that story, send it to me because I'm very interested in that story. Why would somebody come out and think that story would even be believable? I'm looking at it right now. Real raw news. Marines neutralize fleeing FEMA convoy in Miami. I don't know. It looks good. Funny sight. That's true satire, I guess. Okay, let's see. And Rokfin, thank you so much for joining me. Amber's over there dropping the notes for you guys. Gregory and Jim and Fred Edwards, and everybody who joined us over there. Thank you guys so much. Okay, I will see you Saturday night for Beauty and the Boomer, and I'm closing with a Who cover. Now, I'm not a big Who fan. There's a few Who songs I like, but this is a Who / Limp Bizkit, because remember, Limp Bizkit covered this song. This is Behind Blue Eyes. So it's kind of a mix of the classic and the new, heavier. So I hope you guys like it. I will see you guys on Saturday. Have a great rest of your week. And remember, chemtrails are real. All right, we'll see you later.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to tell all the lies. But my dreams that others empty, that's my conscience seems to be. I have had lost on the lonely, my love's vengeance that's now free. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do. And I blame you. No one bites because I own anger. None of my pain will I can't show through. But my dreams, they're always empty. That's my conscience seems to be. I have had lost on the lonely, my love's vengeance that's now free. That's never free. Oh. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes.
Спасибо.